in live stream. Okay, good morning. Okay, today's Bund. Yeah, well, yeah, we had the trend yesterday, the long trend, and it came a little bit, unexpected, but nevertheless, it's always possible, even though the courses started yesterday below the value, prices then made it through without hesitation and built value then above. So this was the springboard level here around the value before the day. And right now, going back to the 2 days Bund, we see that the price is now again reaching with fast and very strong volume another very important mark. This is the yesterday value area high here. And the play we will play is then if the area about 78, 77, 78 is provided with a lot of buying volume and a lot of absorption or just volume and holding structure, then we will see this as a kind of open drive with volume at the top at the area of yesterday value high, and we'll look for the long because this is then the chance for the long trend continuation. So right now with the open we see a incredible lot of contracts got traded. So that means this would be when you're thinking then be in a situation if prices go up here and we trade a little bit higher, then you have to say what was the picture looking as prices, what were looking prices like and volume like coming to this way, and this would then we had to look on because this is very important to detect then the bias. And bias would be like, if you see this here, how strong delta and volume, of course, then moved up. This is already a very strong sign. So this is a strong sign. So this is again what would be then determined as a very strong bullish bias. But remember, we have to see prices coming above the volume edge and staying above, making at least then later the pullback to confirm this area. Right now, that's not counting because we need to have seeing this price action going on above here the 77 and 78 area. of course, then everybody's looking also a little bit, yeah, to on the UK today, because at the noon hour, about 11:40 and till 11:50, they will announce the new leader for the Conservative Party, and so that's important for then the next steps for the election of the new Prime Minister from UK. So everybody will look at this then at the noon hours, but for me that's not so relevant because I'm not gonna trade so late in the morning, but just for the politics and for the impacts then for the next days and for the whole situation till October with the Brexit. And so of course this can be a little bit have a volatility impact on Bund of course as well. Okay, right now for me nothing to do because the range is very tight now. I'm looking for more activity levels around the 59.60, and um, we didn't prices didn't reach this level here. And even though the profile is a little bit more on the P-shaped, there's also nothing to do on the long side because again long only with value and before pressure in volume, buying volume at 74, 75 level. So this is the two activity zones between would be around here and then back around the 60 level, which we saw that in the morning with the open coming in the buyers, and there we have some also the pre-market volume edge right now. So this would level number 1 for the long, level number 2 for the long trend continuation, but only with an increasing volume, and level number 3 if they play back to the lower end of the range, to the yesterday value low, about the 54 level. This would also be a level to watch then if there's some responsive buying. But in between, for me, nothing to do, and don't over-analyze then the price action if you're not having a setup that is based on scalping for really short-term price action. Yeah. So no comments as long as we're not in this activity levels. As long as we're not in this activity levels. Yeah, okay. Still nothing to do. And price right now more at the upper level of the pre-market distribution and today's cash market, which obviously made a high at 77, and which is also our volume edge. But we need to see, remember, we need to see an increase of volume when price is going through this edge, and then we need an increase of volume again and holding above building value. And that we don't see that yet. And so my estimation right now, not for the future, but right now, is if we don't see this increasing volume and going through the volume edge at 77, then we thinking of if there's the majority of traders then are not OTF but only short-term traders, and that's what we see right now in Bund.
Convergent.
Okay. Now that's what we see at first. Number one, what we need to see here at the top area is now happening. We see an increase of volume and trying to push the prices now higher. So this is number one. Now you can evaluate the price action that happened from the open to now, because now it makes sense, of course, to evaluate and see how this could then influence your trading edge. See what that happened. We see a strong open, then we see the pullback. We see a convergent with delta. That means there is no difference. Prices then only made it back to my 2-day sliz and then going up again. Not super strong, but also not too rangy, because they made higher highs and higher lows. They didn't range back after reached at the moment PUC and the yesterday value higher high. They got higher and made it to the initial balance high right now. And now it's also good, because now that's also a sign for us. It would be good if now the volume increases here and seeing a little bit absorption. Then this would be the moment we're looking for the entering above the 77. If there's the structures built for a long. If you can't go with them, because remember, like yesterday, volume increases so fast then and prices spike up, and then we wait for a healthy pullback. I mean, healthy would be not spike rejection and like a open rejection reverse, but seeing that they make higher prices, then they make a pullback, everything with its time, given time, and then we see where at the place where the volume was built a LVN area. But this must happen first. What we have to see is we built this value above the 77. which is possible, but we have to wait. And as of yet, we're not above the 77, okay? So we're not at this level we want to see prices. So we need to have to be patient and wait for it. In the footprint you see that then here somebody said, hello, give me these pieces, I want to sell. See this at 80? The ask is filled. There are almost 700 contracts on the 173.80. If you ask me now what does this mean, I can tell you absolutely nothing. Of course, they have to go through this. If it's not spoofing, they have to pay the offer to get through it. But that's not really a let's call it a resistance that can't be handled through. But of course, there's a sign that somebody says, "Hey, you can give me your pieces. I take them." And the other guy will say, okay, if I'm only short term, I maybe not gonna force it. But if I'm an OTF trader and say I just wanna buy because this is way too cheap, and we have always the possibility to go back to long trend. But let's see what happens and just stay patient with the right attitude. You see that right now they absorb here. They absorb here. There is this kind of P-shaped cash profile yet. We see in here with these two levels. This at the moment POC of the 3073. And you see that there is absorption. That means the people buying are selling into this level here. Into the 73 got absorbed a little bit. And then some buyer coming again in. This would be a good sign if prices then pulling back with increase of volume. All right? If this does not happen, forget about what happened here. This would only be interesting and a strong sign if prices then gone back up. And then we can say, okay, they just pulled back to the POC. Okay, they are now building value at the top or about the above the value edge. Okay, let's see for a entry level. If it's not happened, please, no long here. All right, see that? Now they're selling into 71. Still somebody's buying, still absorption. Let's see if the buyers can um, keep on controlling this level here, or if they lose it to the bears, then we don't even have to watch it anymore, because then this wouldn't be a really strong sign for prices then coming back to the upper area. But this is all okay, because the LVN here is around the 70 level. That means as long as they don't take out strong 70, then it's not in danger. But just follow the price action in here, see how they absorb in it, see how always the buyers coming back in the game. And even though you see this here massively got sold into it, and here you see in the deltas here that already after selling somebody buying back, and here you see selling, okay, now buying, but as it stopped then because they got absorbed at the 71, they're again still confident enough to go in again. That means there's some bigger guys that that's the way how you get to collect your pieces. Okay, you allow the people to push you lower, and you open your hands and take it. For those people, it's not so important for 1 or 2 or 3 ticks, but of course they're also trying to stay in control if they have a trading purpose, if it's not for hedging or other things, or getting an order to just trade here 200 pieces or 2,000 or 5,000. Yeah, but the ask side is also get refilled now, and this is looking for you as a sign of strength for the long run, not for me. So nothing to do here. And if you're now starting to get a little bit impatient, write it down. Write it down, because except if you really now get impatient, then you should start maybe some breathing exercise or meditation or something, because this would influence then your next trade. Either you force the next trade in a level you haven't planned to take on, or second thing is, if price then go to a level of interest where you want to trade, that would be also the danger of that it's emotional influenced and you're not clear-minded. So write down always those emotions and be aware, get aware of them. That's really, I will tell you, if you're good at the technical side, this is the thin line that separates really the guys making big money from always the people that underperform. So right now, at the moment, I felt a little bit impatient, but I mean, I'm aware of this feeling, and it's not taking control over me. But I'm honest to me and say, yeah, okay, now a little bit, something could happen. But my strength is, because I write down these emotions and I know this, I can't remember some day where I just traded because I was bored, or traded was because I hadn't had the wrong attitude while waiting. So that's my strength. Okay, I always also have weaknesses, of course. You see that every day where my strength is, how I analyze it, what is my big picture preparation. But one of my strengths is I'm aware of my feelings. I know that this emotion is coming, that's trying to manipulate me. And the worst thing is not to be aware of it or ignore it, or say to yourself, come on, we are rational humans. that doesn't control us. Then that's bullshit. It will take control. And if you be honest, just take a look at your trading results over the long term. So if you're underperforming, this may be the main reason, beside your technical skills and skills of preparation and putting things in context to big picture. So nothing to do right now, and we start trying to be patient and be honest to ourselves. Alright, it's really slow today and trying not to fall asleep, but objectively, take a look at the intraday chart. Till now, the second I say this, bears stay get a little bit in control now. But before this happened, the bulls stayed in control of this level, and they collected pieces. They absorbed a little bit, and now we see a lot of contracts got sold. You see it here in this candle. If we go to the footprint, I could also show you the tape, but in footprint it's a little bit nicer to see it accumulated. To see that they could not absorb anymore the 173.70 as 300 contracts got sold into 248, and I got now again 174. So there's imbalance now and selling into it. And you see there's still a level of support with this volume edge from the intraday profile, taken from the intraday profile, which is here. So 69, there's still absorption from the buyers, and to try to keep it in this upper distribution, but nobody knows what's the plan. If they just collect pieces and then we see some increase of buying volume again to take out. But if this does not happen, then this would be just a sign that there's only intraday and short-term trader. And then we can concentrate just for the range trading, and we prefer then the long side to be more on the safe side and waiting either for prices coming here to this edge of today's cash market around the 66 level, or the better level would be then the 60, and there would be also another springboard for the pullback for the long range would be also of course the 54 to 56. So okay, today it's not so clear because pre-market already made its level, then cash market, early cash market made its volume edge, and then there's the overall orientation around here, the 54, 56. So it could be that you maybe take on a trade then here or here and got stopped out, but don't judge it then by your P&L. Be aware, okay, there is another two levels, and try to do with a clear mind then the same thing. But I would take on definitely if there's responsive buying around the morning pre-market edge, which we see was also for a long time from the overnight session the buying level. So this would be definitely the 69, 59, 60 would definitely be a zone worth to watch for responsive buying. If they fail, there's still also the 54 level, 52 to 54 level, before we have the danger that prices going back into the lower range of Friday, which obviously starts around the 50. That it would mean as long as they then above the 50 with failed breakouts on the short side, and we see then responsive buying, then we would have the best risk reward for the range long, make it all through the range or at least to the middle, to the PSC, and that's what we're now waiting for. And this is what the market could give us, in fact, or for the right now looking more uncertain case, if there's increasing volume, then we would also concentrate again for the long if they can build value above. Yeah, and this level here, the level around 67. Okay, this would be too early for me for the range long here, because look at the profile from yesterday. We want to see at least prices pulling back to this pre-market range. To the 60 for me would be the best thing, because from risk reward, in terms of risk reward, this is still too high for me. I don't want to risk for a 3-4 tick trade. I have to risk another 3-4. Not even one risk reward. It's not worth it. Just for a purpose of to trade now, this wouldn't be smart. Let's wait. Market pays you either, but you have to take on at the levels that make sense. And for me, I want to see that it's coming back to the open range and to the pre-market volume edge here at least. So this would be still the same. I'm not gonna pull this volume edge now because of the intraday is not making a lower value area high as low, but no, this will be playing around. So I'm not gonna pull it. I want to see prices diving deeper into the 60 level, because remember again 60 and 45, 54 and 60 would be my levels for the range long where I want to see responsive buying. I would only accept this level if they now taking control here, trading the range, okay, fail, trading back, and we see again responsive buying. Then I would accept this as a confirmed new intraday range, but now it's too early in the day and only one, or not even 1 hour got traded. And so it's better for me. I want to wait for it. Yeah, at least one thing you can say that today, right now, everything is set to range market. There was no extension. They couldn't extend the yesterday range on the upside, not on the downside. We see that the strength of the beginning with the second try, which was already weaker with this signs that they couldn't extend it like more than 2-3 ticks, and then it was still alive because of the absorption. But we would rather see then some continuation and increase of volume on the long side. That didn't happen. Now the profile also is a normal distribution. There's a standard deviation 1 here, and seeing responsive buying already here at the 64 level, which I said that I'm not gonna take on this trade because from my risk reward calculation I want to see it a little bit lower. So you can always only stay patient and wait for it. If this morning this here got repaired, this profile a little bit, this LVN, and they tested it for a better entry, and that's what's happening right now. The other thing you could look for would be if you're trading the short trade in the range, and one have to wait to get to the 76 level, which is obviously here, the volume edge of this today profile, and wait for responsive selling. But you always have to be aware then that the probability is a little bit weaker against the trend, that they may already stop at the POC. This can always happen also, of course, here from the long side, that they stop here and to test lower, but the probability a little bit higher if you're trading in the big picture against the trend from the short. But you can make this here. If they appear at the 76, you spot the responsive selling character in delta and volume, you can go for the range short, or I would go for the range long if we're going back here and test this area around the 60 level and see responsive buying, and the other thing will be around the 54 level, and as long as we see stabilization here. And then it's a good chance that we cross the range from yesterday again, because then we just find the acceptance in yesterday value and we will trade through it again. Yeah, seeing that the range right now is very tight now. So nothing for me to trade in here with this tight range. This would be only 2-3 ticks chances, and it's only super scalping setups here. I'm not gonna trade it here in Bund. Like I said, we want to see prices on the outside areas of the value. We want to see responsive selling here, or we want to see responsive buying down here, because responsive buying here wouldn't take us wide, because there's only 2 ticks chance then to the POC if you got into it, and on the other side as well. So this is nothing for me here to trade and wait for. It's better to wait and to be aware of the risk reward, and to know your risk reward, to know where it's good for your trading plan long term to make profits. So I'm not gonna take on an area. You want to see prices going up. Here the 76 area again, I want to see rejection and selling, responsive sellers, and then I would take on this trade. And know if there's a fast rejection then, and again, and buyers come back again very, very fast, that I will not risk too much here on the short side with the intraday short, with targets then 72 and 68 was the turning point right here to 65, but at least the 69, that would be from a risk reward calculation from up here. All right, then see where this price moves now, ending up. So still in this micro range with the value from 68 reaching to 73, which is only a 5 tick range today. It's very tight this morning, so market's waiting for external influences to get driven out of this tight range. And to not get me wrong, of course there was the possibility after seeing the failed breakout here, but for me this was everything here, the absorption, because the signs here were really strong, and you see that there was already always still the absorption. So this is why I wouldn't look for here. I wasn't looking here for the range short. Why should I? If they about to play with a bigger OTF, maybe participants could drive it quick above, and it's against the trend. So then it was my decision to say I'm not looking here for the long trend at this moment, because for the range long, because I want to see prices coming back to the open range low and getting more in the lower value area of yesterday, which would make a better risk reward. And so I said, okay, then if we see a confirmation now of this 2 days range here, which was obviously built here around this moment, which we got now the normal distribution, I want to say that I want to see prices coming back here to the upper range and coming back low, and then I would look for as for acceptance of the 2 days range and looking here for the range long. But the situation is for me now, this is just not enough risk reward. This is only if I get in here around cheap this area 68, and I have a maximum of 3 or 4 ticks. This is not good in terms of risk reward. So if you're trading this because you're a scalper and you have to go in and want to go out fast because this fits your personality the best, only be in a position for 20, 30 seconds to a minute or whatever, then you can trade that. But there you have to be aware that this kind of trading style needs the highest concentration of all types of trading styles. Okay, the highest concentration. You have to be superb, extremely disciplined, and also be in control of your emotions, because you make your money only if you have this high hit rate. Okay, because you have a not so good risk reward, you always need a high hit rate, 70% or 80%, or at least 65 to 70% hit rate. Okay, because if you have always maybe 3-4 ticks risking and only making 2-3 maximum 4 ticks reward, then you don't even have a 1-to-1 risk reward. So that's why I'm not trading this. That doesn't mean that it's not good. Everything is okay if you stay in control. But what I'm talking here, of course, is always my terms of playing it out, and I'm trying to make the most out of small intraday swings of about the duration of 5, 10, 15 minutes to make at least give me sometimes the possibility for a 2-to-1 risk reward for maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 ticks and a risk of 3, 4, 5 ticks. So this would be for me what I want to see in trading. I'm also not the other extreme. I'm not the intraday swing trader who stays in a position for a half an hour or an hour or something like this. That's also not my style. I'm in between those two worlds, and that's why I said I'm not taking on this trade here at the 65 already, because my risk reward is not good enough. As long as there are so good levels below here with the lower range from yesterday, with this volume edge, with this IB low from today's pre-market, with this higher volume edge, and I want to see prices come here and see responsive buying, because then we have a good chance that prices then coming back to the today's POC at the 72, which would give me then almost a 2-to-1 risk reward. Right now nothing has happened. We're really tight. We are caught in this tight range here, and it's 10:30. So we'll stay here. And the next 30 minutes, then we have the end of the first 2 hours live session. And if you have any questions, I know there's only one listener. Hello to this guy who listens to me. If you want to learn something about bond trading, not only the DAX, of course, which most of the people obviously do. For liquid markets, for me, it's much better also for the advanced and beginner trader to get in control of its trading, because it's not so volatile than the DAX or other illiquid markets. So stay tuned. We're here. I will be here for the next 30 minutes still. And if something happens and we go into the activity zone around here, I will guide you, and I will tell you what I think and how to trade it. And let's see if we get there. Number one, let's see if we get maybe here for the train short opportunity, and let's see if the market pays us or not, and then learn how to judge and how to analyze your trading. And see you later. I'm not gonna be I'm stay here at desk, but I'll wait till it's gone the price to the activity levels. Your trading, and see you later. I'm not gonna be I'm stay here at desk, but I'll wait till it's gone the price to the activity levels. Yeah, welcome back. So you see that we're still in this tight range. They pushed a little bit to the downside at this moment, but they got absorbed here, and they stay in within this higher volume edge from 65 to 73, and it hasn't changed for me. Then no staying and no trading, and but rather staying flat, and yeah, it's still the same. Yeah, welcome back. There are attempts of short sellers here trying to get deeper now into this range and testing the lower edge here, the 60 level. Would be from the pre-market volume edge here. This would be an activity zone for me for looking for responsive buyers. Not before, because again, risk reward for entering here for only 1-2 ticks to the at the moment POC for the minimum target, and is too weak, and it's a bad risk reward. I'm not gonna take on this because I'm not this super short term super scalper for only 1-3 ticks. So like I said before, you gotta be patient. This is one of the days when it's a really tight range and it really tightens up as it started first time to realize here around 9:30. This is more a rangy character today, or better said at 9:40, because there was still absorption and the possibility to go higher. But at this moment here, when they started to get lower, and we see that first acceptance of this intraday today build value, then we see there was a chance the first time maybe around here or here. And this is only bad risk reward. That's why I didn't trade it. It's at a tight range. And it's better than just to stay flat. And it's extremely important to go with your trading systems to measure them and evaluate, because if you change your parameters, change your trading every day again and again, you will never reach your goals, or you will never fix your problems of your system. No? That's the clear targets, clear strategy, and right now we're not in this situation where I'm looking. This is not my activity level for today, because again, bad risk reward, and we'll be here for the next 10 to 15 minutes till 11 o'clock, and then we want to end the session today, and not so much happens right now till now, and that's okay. Having a trade plan and staying flat means not to lose money, all right? That's also important, because it's always the mix of good traded plays, and on days where there's nothing happening, not losing money by just impatient clicking and trading and clicking. And that's very important to learn as well. So some people may made some profits today because they had some plays for that provided the market, but for me not. For me not. There was no play for me in my strategy to play today. And if I would have played it against my rule, then there would be a violation. So this would be your trading demon. Don't violate your plan. That's very important. That's the minimum you have to do. So let's see if there's something else happening in the next 10 minutes till 11 o'clock, and I will be back before we end the session, and or if the market reaches some activity levels.
Das war doch alles gut. Warum muss man immer alles ändern? Ich verstehe das nicht. Ich sag dir ehrlich, ich kann das gerade wirklich noch gar nicht fassen.
Citroën wird dieses Jahr...
Yeah, sorry for the video. I was looking at a YouTube clip. Alright, then nothing to do. Let's wait for the last minutes. Yeah, guys, for me, that's it for me today. So I will not look. I'm not going to look for another trade here. The trade is just still tight. Okay, we're still within this 3-4 thing risk reward from here to POC. No trading for me. And today I stayed flat. And thank you for watching and listening. I will provide the recap of today's bond session later from this obviously very range day. After the market participants could not attract more OTF traders around here, and with the absorption and latest here, one could see that there's more the range character then, and they played this tight range starting here with 3, 4 ticks, 2, 3 ticks, 2 ticks, 2, 2, 2, and there was not good risk reward for me in this from my place here. And I think thank you again for watching and listening. Happy learning, and yeah, we see you later in the stream or with the recap on the manapa.de website or in the stream on our Discord stream. Follow me at Twitter at MugTrader Anton Hopful. For Manapa, goodbye.